Greenhouse gases
gases
are
that we release
that
into
we
the
release into the
atmosphere
atmosphere
that are bad for the
environment.
Greenhouse gases,
I don't know all of them. This is carbon dioxide,
is one of the gases. I think
methane and nitrous oxide, maybe even ozone.
I think
I think carbon dioxide is the biggest
greenhouse
gas.
And what greenhouse
And what
gases
greenhouse gases do is
they let the
they let the
sunlight
sunlight
through, but they reflect
heat or infrared heat back to the earth.
I think I'm not a scientist,
so don't quote me on this.
But the greenhouse gases form a blanket in the sky around the earth that helps keep the earth warm. The problem is, as we put more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere,
we're starting to keep the planet too warm. The blanket gets a little bit too big because of our pollution.
So again,
some pretty big words in there.
Greenhouse gases come from
cars and factories,
and they are gases like
carbon dioxide and methane. Those are two big, I think.
I'm trouble remembering
my science class when I was a kid.
The
ozone layer
is a little bit different.
It's a little bit different.
The layers,
what's called ozone,
and it actually stops
the certain ultraviolet light from getting to the planet. A little bit different than greenhouse gases.
But those two things together
make up our atmosphere. The atmosphere on the air around the Earth.
And in order
for humans to survive on this planet, the atmosphere needs to stay relatively the same, certain
carbon
dioxide, oxygen, and nitrogen.
And
we mess it up through pollution. It could have dangerous effects on all of us.
Hazardous waste. So we have
toxic waste. We have hazardous waste.
We have industrial waste.
This is any kind of waste that produced by a factory
or in
manufacturing.
Okay? So that's a big difference. Let's see. American English with this guy. In Maine, most bottles and cans can be redeemed for 5 cents. Very cool. Milk jugs cannot be returned for any money. That's why we
put it in back here in Canada.
Recycled bag.
Recycling.
Anyways, let me get back. There are many
kinds of waste produced by
factories.
So again, hazardous waste, industrial waste,
toxic waste.
We even have nuclear waste from nuclear power plants.
And all of this
needs to be disposed of properly.
If you just dump hazardous waste
into a river or lake or stream,
or just on the ground,
is bad for the environment. So
that's one of the things that most countries are trying to get under control to reduce the amount of hazardous waste
and other type of waste.
We also have household waste. Let me zoom in so you can see all this garbage.
Household waste.
Household waste is anything generated by people
in their homes.
In our house, because I have. Yes, I'm married, and Jen and I have 5 children. Only 4
at home right now. One at university.
We generate
quite a bit of household waste.
We try not to. We try to produce as little household waste as possible. But household waste is also bad for the environment. If it's disposed of improperly. It would also just be called garbage or trash.
But the formal term would be household waste.
Here's some effects that humans have on the environment. These are some of the things I'm just going to talk a bit about
how pollution and emissions affect the environment around us.
One of the things that it does is create endangered species,
or creates a situation where certain animals and sometimes plants are
in danger
of becoming extinct.
I'll talk about extinct.
I'm talking about extinct.
This is the bobolink.
Is the bobolink?
It's a type of bird
on Ontario, Canada, and it's an endangered species.
There are not a lot of bobolinks
We
have been
destroying its natural habitat.
We have been
creating cities and farms,
and we have been destroying the
bobolink.
I picked the bobolink because one, it's an endangered species. Also starts with the word bobolink. Anyways, so it's not extinct. There are still bobolink birds in Ontario, but it's on the endangered species list because it's
endangered species list.
There's a danger that it
might become extinct.
This is the eastern elk.
The eastern
elk is
actually extinct in Australia.
It was a type of animal that was common. But because humans came and destroyed the environment where these elks live, they no longer. We probably also hunted them a long time ago. I'm sure that has enormous effects as well. But when you have endangered species, it means it's in danger of going extinct. It might go extinct. And if an animal or plant is extinct, it just doesn't exist on our planet anymore. It's kind of sad. When I was researching this lesson, I was sad to see how many species were extinct in Canada. It was a lot. I think it was in the hundreds, a few hundred species, 200 or 300. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a scientist. We have enormous effect on the environment, and sometimes it has serious effects where animals go extinct. The other thing, climate change, like global warming and being destructive in the world in terms of the environment does create natural disasters. So there's more drought. So there are more drought. There's more flooding. There's more extreme weather. There's more things happening in the world because we're not taking care of the planet. And we would say that those are natural disasters. Things like tsunami, hurricanes, cyclones, tornadoes, and I mentioned flooding. Volcanoes less so. I'm not sure what's caused volcanoes. But that would be another type of natural disasters. So extreme weather. Extreme weather would mean if you normally get a storm that's really bad, but now you started to get storm that's even worse. We will call that extreme weather. If you have high winds of 80 to 90 kilometers an hour, maybe you have a storm. Now the winds are 100 and 110 kilometers an hour now. That would be extreme weather. We are definitely experiencing extreme weather here in Canada. We have more summer days for 30 Celsius last year than we have had in many decades. So, extreme heat can also be extreme weather. We have something in English called the carbon footprint. The carbon footprint is a newer term in the last 5 or 10 years, at least for me. And it basically is how much effect you personally are having on the environment. So for me to live for a year requires a certain amount of gas, a certain amount of food, a certain amount of clothing. All of those things create greenhouse gases when they're being manufactured or consumed. Sorry, I'm using a lot of big words here. Your carbon footprint simply refers to how much greenhouse gases you personally have created in order to live. If you fly on a private jet every week, you create a lot of greenhouse gases, and your carbon footprint is enormous. If you live in a small and you eat really healthy food, and you ride a bike everywhere, your carbon footprint is very tiny. So we definitely want to think about what our carbon footprint is as we go through our daily life. When we talk about things that are good for the environment, we say that they are earth-friendly or they're environment friendly. We do certain things because they're good for the environment. As much as we just talk about many things that are bad for the environment, there are more and more things every year that humans are doing that are good for the environment. One of those is composting. So we do not put our food scraps in the garbage. We have a separate pail and we call it a compost pail. That's really footprints like the tops of your carrots. When you get your vegetables ready and with some leaves are ground that you can eat, you throw in the compost. You can in some places also throw in like moldy cheese or milk that's gone sour. We actually have our compost picked up by a truck. On garbage day, a truck comes once a week and it picks up our garbage, our compost, and our paper recycling, our metal recycling, and our plastic recycling, and our paper recycling is all separate. But I'll tell you a little secret. Because I live on a farm. All of our kitchen from fruits and vegetables, we give to our chickens. We compost everything else, but we don't